Today, I want to talk about a powerful lesson we can learn when we face hurtful situations, the importance of not reacting impulsively when someone hurts us. This might sound simple, yet it holds profound implications for our emotional well-being and our relationships. When we encounter hurt, whether it's through words, actions, or neglect, it's easy to feel overwhelmed and respond with anger, defensiveness, or even withdrawal. But in those moments of pain, our initial reactions often don't serve us well. Instead of moving towards connection and understanding, they can lead to more hurt, isolation, and misunderstanding. Keynote 1, the power of pause. In our fast-paced world, we often feel compelled to react immediately to situations that trigger our emotions. Whether it's a hurtful comment from a colleague, a disagreement with a friend, or a painful experience with a loved one, our instinct is to respond right away. However, this knee-jerk reaction can lead to outcomes we later regret. Taking a moment to pause before responding can be transformative. This pause allows us to create a buffer between the stimulus, the hurtful action, and our response. During this time, we can engage in deep breathing, count to 10, or even step away from the situation for a moment. This practice not only helps calm our immediate emotional response, but also gives us the clarity needed to understand what we're truly feeling. Furthermore, in that pause, we can evaluate the situation from different perspectives. We might ask ourselves, what are my feelings telling me? What might the other person be going through? This reflection can shift our focus from solely our pain to a more holistic view of the interaction. It also helps in preventing miscommunication that often arises from hasty responses. The power of pause is rooted in the idea that our emotional reactions can be driven by various factors, past experiences, fears, insecurities, and even the stressors of the moment. By pausing, we give ourselves the chance to untangle these emotions. We can identify which feelings are relevant to the current situation and which may be rooted in past wounds that don't need to dictate our current reactions. Additionally, taking a moment of silence can also signal to others that we are thoughtful and intentional. This approach not only models healthy emotional regulation, but can also inspire those around us to engage more thoughtfully. When we choose to respond from a place of calm and consideration, we often encourage others to do the same, fostering a more respectful and understanding environment. In moments of hurt, embracing the power of pause is a gift we give ourselves. It allows us to approach the situation with intention rather than impulse, leading to more constructive and meaningful conversations. Keynote 2, understanding triggers. Understanding our emotional triggers is a crucial step in navigating relationships and managing our responses to hurt. Triggers are the specific events, comments, or behaviors that evoke strong emotional reactions based on our past experiences. When someone hurts us, our response may often be more about our history than the current situation itself. Identifying these triggers begins with self-reflection. We can ask ourselves what specific words or actions consistently provoke a strong emotional response in me. Is there a pattern to these triggers? For instance, a critical remark from a colleague might send us into a defensive state because it reminds us of similar criticisms we've faced in the past. By recognizing these patterns, we can start to connect the dots between our past experiences and our present reactions. Understanding our triggers also involves acknowledging the emotions they evoke. Triggers can lead to feelings of anger, fear, shame, or vulnerability, and recognizing these emotions is essential. When we can identify that a particular reaction stems from a deeper wound, we gain valuable insight into our behavior. This awareness allows us to separate the current situation from our past, enabling us to respond more thoughtfully instead of reacting out of instinct. Moreover, discussing our triggers with trusted friends or loved ones can provide additional perspectives. Sharing our experiences can help us see how our triggers affect not only us, but also our relationships. Others might offer insights or strategies that we haven't considered, helping us to develop healthier coping mechanisms. Another important aspect of understanding triggers is recognizing that they can change over time. What may have been a significant trigger for us in the past might not hold the same weight now, and vice versa. Life experiences, personal growth, and therapy can alter our emotional landscape, making it essential to continuously check in with ourselves and reassess what affects us. By delving into our triggers, we not only enhance our emotional intelligence, but also empower ourselves to create healthier boundaries. When we know what triggers our emotional reactions, we can communicate this to those around us, helping them to understand our sensitivities. This transparency fosters stronger connections and encourages a culture of empathy, where others are more likely to engage with us in a thoughtful manner. Ultimately, understanding our triggers is not about avoiding situations that cause us discomfort. It's about equipping ourselves with the knowledge to navigate those situations with grace. This self-awareness enables us to transform potentially hurtful interactions into opportunities for connection and growth. Keynote 3: Embracing Vulnerability. Embracing vulnerability is a powerful concept that challenges our instinct to protect ourselves in the face of hurt. Vulnerability involves opening ourselves up emotionally, exposing our true feelings, fears, and desires without the guarantee of a safe response. It's often perceived as a weakness, but in reality, it's one of the strongest positions we can take in our relationships and interactions. When we choose to be vulnerable, we allow ourselves to express our authentic emotions rather than masking them with defensiveness or anger. This honesty can lead to deeper connections with others, as it invites them to see us as we truly are, rather than as a facade we might present to guard against potential hurt. For example, if a friend says something that hurts us, expressing our feelings of hurt or confusion can lead to a more meaningful dialogue than reacting with anger or withdrawal. This honesty encourages trust and openness, fostering a sense of safety in our relationships. Moreover, embracing vulnerability allows us to break down barriers and stereotypes about strength and resilience. Society often teaches us to equate strength with stoicism, but true strength lies in the courage to be vulnerable. By showing our authentic selves, we challenge the narrative that we must always be strong or composed. This shift can inspire those around us to also embrace their vulnerabilities, creating a more supportive and understanding environment. In addition to fostering deeper connections, embracing vulnerability can lead to personal growth. When we express our feelings, we not only validate our own experiences, but also invite introspection. This self-reflection helps us better understand our emotional landscape, allowing us to discern what we truly need in a situation. By leaning into our vulnerability, we can recognize patterns, learn from our experiences, and ultimately evolve. It's important to remember that vulnerability does not mean exposing ourselves to harm. We have the power to choose when and how to be vulnerable. Setting boundaries around our vulnerability ensures that we can share our feelings in a safe space, whether that's with a trusted friend or a supportive group. This selective vulnerability enables us to build meaningful connections without sacrificing our emotional safety. Embracing vulnerability also plays a crucial role in conflict resolution. When disagreements arise, approaching the conversation from a place of vulnerability can transform the dynamic. Instead of escalating tensions with blame or defensiveness, we can express our feelings, fears, and needs. This openness can diffuse potential conflicts and lead to collaborative problem solving, where both parties feel heard and respected. Ultimately, embracing vulnerability is about recognizing that while we may experience hurt, we also have the capacity to connect, heal, and grow through it. It is a commitment to authenticity, which can transform our relationships and empower us to respond to hurt with compassion rather than fear. Keynote 4: Responding with Compassion. Responding with compassion, especially in moments of hurt, is a profound practice that can significantly change the dynamics of our interactions. Compassion involves not only empathizing with others, but also understanding their struggles and showing kindness, even when we ourselves feel wounded. This approach requires us to shift our focus from our own pain to the broader human experience. When we choose to respond with compassion, we acknowledge that everyone has their own battles. Often, the hurtful words or actions directed at us stem from the other person's struggles, insecurities, or past traumas. By recognizing this, we can cultivate a sense of empathy that allows us to see beyond our immediate emotional reactions. For instance, if a colleague lashes out during a stressful meeting, instead of reacting defensively, we might pause and consider the pressures they are under. This perspective shift can prevent the escalation of conflict and foster a more understanding environment. Compassion also involves active listening. When someone hurts us, we might feel the urge to defend ourselves or counterattack. However, taking the time to truly listen to the other person's perspective allows us to validate their feelings and experiences. This doesn't mean we accept or excuse hurtful behavior, rather, it demonstrates that we value their humanity. Engaging in compassionate listening can create a safe space where both parties feel heard, paving the way for more constructive conversations. Furthermore, responding with compassion can have a ripple effect. When we model compassion in our interactions, we encourage others to do the same. This practice can lead to a culture of kindness and understanding, where individuals feel empowered to express their vulnerabilities without fear of judgment. In environments where compassion is prioritized, conflicts are less likely to escalate, and relationships are strengthened. Additionally, compassion requires self-compassion. It's essential to recognize our own feelings of hurt and validate them, rather than suppressing them in the name of understanding others. By treating ourselves with the same kindness and understanding we extend to others, we build emotional resilience. This self-compassion enables us to respond more thoughtfully rather than react impulsively, creating a balanced approach to both our emotions and our interactions. In situations where we feel deeply hurt, responding with compassion can lead to healing, not only for ourselves but also for the other person. When we approach a hurtful interaction with a compassionate mindset, we open the door to reconciliation and understanding. For example, if we express how a certain comment affected us while also acknowledging the stress the other person might be under, we create an opportunity for dialogue that can heal wounds rather than deepen them. Finally, practicing compassion requires ongoing effort and awareness. It's about cultivating a mindset that seeks to understand rather than judge. This practice can be nurtured through mindfulness, reflection, and a commitment to personal growth. By embracing compassion as a core value, we not only enrich our own emotional experiences, but also contribute to a more empathetic world. Setting boundaries is an essential practice in protecting our emotional well-being, especially when we encounter situations where we feel hurt. Boundaries define what we are comfortable with and what we are not, helping us to maintain our sense of self and to navigate relationships more effectively. Without clear boundaries, we may find ourselves overwhelmed, frustrated, or even resentful, leading to deeper emotional wounds. One of the key aspects of setting boundaries is recognizing our limits. This involves understanding what behaviors we will accept from others and what actions are unacceptable. For example, if a friend frequently makes disparaging remarks that hurt us, it is vital to acknowledge how those comments affect us emotionally. By clearly defining our boundaries, we can communicate to others that such behavior is not acceptable and that it impacts our relationship negatively. Establishing boundaries also involves communicating our needs and expectations. This can be challenging as it often requires us to assert ourselves in situations where we may feel vulnerable. However, clear communication is crucial. When we articulate our boundaries calmly and assertively, we provide others with the opportunity to understand our perspective and adjust their behavior accordingly. This act of honesty can enhance mutual respect and understanding in our relationships. Moreover, setting boundaries is not just about protecting ourselves from negative interactions, it is also about fostering positive ones. Boundaries create a space for healthy interactions by clarifying how we wish to be treated. They allow us to engage with others on our terms, promoting healthier dynamics. For instance, if we need time to recharge after a stressful day, communicating this need to friends or family can help them understand our situation, leading to more supportive interactions. It is also important to recognize that boundaries are not set in stone. They can and should evolve over time. As we grow and change, so too may our limits and needs. Regularly reassessing our boundaries ensures they remain relevant and effective. This adaptability allows us to respond to new situations or relationships with clarity and confidence, ensuring that we remain true to ourselves. Furthermore, Setting boundaries requires a commitment to self-care. When we prioritize our emotional needs and protect our boundaries, we create a foundation for healthier relationships. This self-care practice involves not only recognizing when we need to assert our boundaries, but also understanding when we may need to distance ourselves from relationships that are consistently harmful. Walking away from toxic dynamics is sometimes necessary to preserve our emotional health. In addition to protecting our own well-being, boundaries also teach others how to treat us. When we enforce our limits consistently, we signal to those around us that we value ourselves and expect them to do the same. This can foster respect and encourage a more balanced exchange in our relationships. It also sets a precedent for others to examine their behavior and consider how it impacts those around them. Ultimately, the practice of setting boundaries empowers us to engage in relationships that honor our feelings and needs. By establishing clear limits, we can navigate hurtful situations with grace and maintain our emotional health while fostering deeper, more respectful connections with others. Self-care is a vital practice for maintaining emotional health, particularly when we face hurtful situations. In the midst of emotional turmoil, it can be easy to overlook our own needs, but prioritizing self-care is essential for building resilience and fostering a positive mindset. Engaging in self-care not only helps us cope with the effects of hurt, but also equips us to respond more thoughtfully to challenges. One fundamental aspect of self-care is recognizing the need for rest and rejuvenation. Emotional pain can be draining, and taking time to recharge is crucial. This may involve setting aside moments in our day for quiet reflection, meditation, or simply engaging in activities that bring us joy. Whether it's spending time in nature, indulging in a favorite hobby, or enjoying a good book, these moments of respite allow us to process our feelings and regain emotional balance. Physical self-care is equally important. Our physical and emotional well-being are deeply interconnected, and caring for our bodies can significantly influence our mental state. Regular exercise, a nutritious diet, and sufficient sleep can enhance our resilience against stress and emotional upheaval. When we prioritize our physical health, we create a strong foundation that supports our emotional well-being, making us better equipped to handle hurtful interactions. Additionally, self-care involves cultivating supportive relationships. Surrounding ourselves with individuals who uplift and encourage us can provide a critical buffer against negativity. Engaging with friends or family who are empathetic and understanding creates an environment where we feel safe to express our feelings. This support system can help us process our emotions, validate our experiences, and remind us of our worth, reinforcing a sense of belonging and connection. Practicing self-compassion is also a vital component of self-care. In moments of hurt, we may be quick to criticize ourselves or feel guilty for our emotions. Instead, it's essential to treat ourselves with kindness and understanding. Acknowledging that it's okay to feel hurt and allowing ourselves the grace to process those feelings can foster a healthier emotional landscape. Self-compassion encourages us to embrace our humanity, recognizing that everyone experiences pain and vulnerability. Moreover, engaging in mindfulness practices can enhance our self-care routine. Mindfulness involves being present in the moment, observing our thoughts and feelings without judgment. This practice allows us to step back from our emotional reactions and gain perspective on our experiences. By incorporating mindfulness techniques such as deep breathing or meditation, we can cultivate a sense of calm and clarity that aids in managing hurtful situations. Setting aside time for reflection is another critical aspect of self-care. Journaling, for example, can be an effective tool for processing emotions. Writing down our thoughts and feelings can help us articulate our experiences, providing a safe space to explore our reactions and responses. This reflective practice allows us to gain insights into our emotional triggers and patterns, ultimately empowering us to make more intentional choices in how we respond to hurt. Lastly, it's important to remember that self-care is not selfish. It is a necessary aspect of maintaining healthy relationships. When we take care of ourselves, we are better equipped to show up for others. By nurturing our own well-being, We foster an environment where we can engage in relationships with openness and compassion, free from the burdens of unresolved hurt and emotional fatigue. In summary, embracing self-care as a foundational practice enables us to navigate the complexities of emotional pain with resilience and grace. By prioritizing our own needs, we cultivate a sense of strength and clarity that enhances our capacity to respond thoughtfully, fostering healthier relationships and a deeper connection to ourselves. You said growth through reflection is an essential process that allows us to transform painful experiences into valuable learning opportunities. When we encounter hurtful situations, it can be easy to focus solely on the immediate discomfort and emotions involved. However, by taking the time to reflect on these experiences, we can gain deeper insights into ourselves and our responses, ultimately fostering personal growth. Reflection begins with creating a space for honest introspection. This can involve setting aside time to think about a specific incident that caused us hurt, examining not only what happened, but also how we reacted. Asking ourselves questions such as, what triggered my emotional response, or what underlying beliefs or experiences influenced my reaction, can help us unpack the layers of our feelings. This level of inquiry encourages us to dig deeper into our emotional landscape and recognize patterns in our behavior. Moreover, reflection provides an opportunity to identify lessons learned from difficult experiences. Each time we confront hurt, we have the chance to ask ourselves what we can take away from the situation. Perhaps we discover that certain triggers resonate with past experiences, or that we have certain expectations that need to be adjusted. By reframing our pain as a source of insight, we empower ourselves to approach future situations with greater awareness and intention. Engaging in reflective practices such as journaling or meditation can also facilitate this growth process. Writing about our feelings and experiences allows us to articulate our thoughts clearly and gain perspective. It can help us process complex emotions and draw connections between our past and present. Through journaling, we can document our reflections over time, creating a personal record of our growth journey that we can revisit and learn from. Additionally, sharing our reflections with trusted friends or mentors can enhance our understanding and foster support. These conversations can provide valuable external perspectives, allowing us to see our experiences through different lenses. Others may offer insights or suggestions that we hadn't considered, enriching our reflective process and expanding our understanding of the situation. Another critical component of growth through reflection is recognizing the importance of self-compassion during this process. As we reflect on our responses to hurt, we must be gentle with ourselves. Acknowledging that we are human and that it's natural to feel hurt and react strongly is essential for fostering a healthy mindset. This self-compassion allows us to view our reflections with kindness rather than judgment, creating an environment where growth can flourish. Furthermore, reflection can enhance our emotional resilience. By learning from our experiences, we develop coping strategies that prepare us for future challenges. For example, if we identify that a certain type of interaction tends to trigger strong emotional reactions, we can plan ahead by developing responses or coping mechanisms that will serve us better in similar situations. This proactive approach not only reduces the likelihood of being caught off guard, but also builds our confidence in managing our emotions. Ultimately, growth through reflection encourages us to view our experiences, including those that are painful, as opportunities for development. By embracing this practice, we become more self-aware and emotionally intelligent individuals. This awareness fosters a sense of agency in our lives, allowing us to respond to hurt with clarity and purpose, rather than reactivity, paving the way for healthier relationships and a more fulfilling existence. In conclusion, the journey of navigating hurt and emotional pain is not merely about avoiding reactions or suppressing feelings. It is about embracing the complexities of our human experience with grace and intention. By harnessing the power of pause, understanding our triggers, embracing vulnerability, responding with compassion, setting boundaries, prioritizing self-care, and engaging in growth through reflection, we cultivate a deeper understanding of ourselves and our relationships. These practices empower us to respond thoughtfully to hurt rather than react impulsively, transforming challenging interactions into opportunities for connection and personal growth. As we commit to this journey, we not only enhance our emotional resilience, but also create a ripple effect of empathy and understanding in the world around us. Let us remember that every hurtful experience can become a stepping stone toward greater self-awareness and compassion, both for ourselves and for others. Together, we can foster a culture of kindness, where vulnerability is celebrated, boundaries are respected, and each person's journey is honored. Thank you for embracing this path of growth and connection.